What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode. Today we're in beautiful sunny Orlando in our hometown. We're coming to see Sean's tank. He's one of our customers. We've been maintaining this tank for a while. Matt, you guys seen Matt in our videos. He's maintaining this tank. So I said, let's go check it out. So enough with the talk. Let's go inside. Let's go grab it. Let's go see the tank. So, Sean,
Hey, Vic.
thank you for having me over, man.
Thank you for visiting and seeing the aquarium.
Yeah, it looks beautiful, man. I mean, so I got a bunch of questions, man. How long has this tank been running?
This is the third tank that I've had.
All right.
This one was set up in May of last year.
May of last year. Yeah. And what do you have before this tank?
It was a 120 that I got from you guys in 2011. I got it and set it up.
So you've been in the hobby how long now?
My first tank I set up when I was 22.
22?
Yeah.
So for a while now?
Yeah.
All right. So and it's always been saltwater?
Always been saltwater.
Always corals or fish only in the beginning?
Well, in the beginning, the hobby wasn't like it is now.
It has changed a whole lot.
Yeah, you didn't have the sophistication of equipment. You didn't have the fragging, and I mean, back then we were just using regular water. We weren't even doing RO systems.
Yeah, all the availability of the information that we have nowadays.
That's true. Yeah, all the data from, you can do YouTubes and find a lot of information. When I set the one up back in 2011, I did a lot of YouTube videos for like even plumbing and different configurations. But
to learn, yeah.
You know, from the equipment based.
It has become a lot easier with, like you say, equipment based. Power heads, they deliver so much flow now.
Oh, when I first saw these, I was like, everybody asked, like, you think they're drilled? And they're magnets.
How's it doing? I mean, such a technology. I mean, with those guys from Ecotech, it's unmatched. There's no cables inside the tank, no heat.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I love them. So let me ask you a couple questions about the tank. How big is this tank?
It's a 190 water box.
Water box?
Very happy with the tank. It's really nice.
Yeah.
I was considering the 220, but I think this fits really well.
So you have the biggest hammers I've seen here in a while, especially in a tank this size. I asked you earlier, how many heads do you think you have? You say roughly 10. I say you got more like 80 to 100 heads on each of these big ones here. It is incredible. Did you start with just one head?
Yeah.
They're amazing. I love branching hammers because they're such an easy coral to grow, and they're so pleasant to the eye. You feel it in general. You got the torches up there. Mm-hmm. Do you notice ever stinging anything, the torches?
No, not with the torches. They're pretty good. A couple of the others put out the stingers really well, but the torches don't seem to.
Do they ever entangle here with the hammer?
No. I think the placement is really, really good, and the flow.
The zoas are so aggressive here. There's Akins being surrounded by the zoas, barely, like almost just suffocated by them, barely breathing, right? I mean, it's incredible to see, but beautiful at the same time.
Well, even here you have the zoas interchanging and growing on over each other. Yeah,
so one thing worth mentioning there, when you see the zoas growing into each other like that, they're going to morph. There's going to be a new morph, very likely.
Really?
When they give, you're going to start seeing that some of the Grandmaster cracks are going to start getting some of the attributes from these ones and the other way around. And after a while, you're able to get that zoantid out and just try to farm it over and over. Think about it. That's a new morph being formed.
Wow.
I mean, you can't do it on purpose, but that's how it happens. When you get two zoantes, they definitely will morph into each other.
Didn't know that.
You know the palitoas, the purple death and the nuclear greens? If you grow both of them next to each other, eventually they become half purple and half green, some of them, and that's what a two-faced palitoa is. So people think that you do it on purpose, that naturally happens. So.
Oh my gosh.
So I see you got a lot of acroporas on this side, you're growing a new batch over there.
Yes.
You just recently start getting into them?
We did that when we set this tank up.
Yeah.
So we were able to add more acros.
Gotcha.
Obviously, the additional size, and Matt did a great job with landscaping all the rocks.
Yeah.
And so it created a nice new space for more additions. We did recently increase some of the flow to help some of that
the acroporas
grow a little better. So that's helped some as well.
Because I know you guys are planning after this video to do a little makeover because corals are overgrowing all over the place. Yeah. One of the possibilities will be maybe move some of the torches a little bit lower and maybe do some more agros up there, and you can move the power heads to deliver the flow more towards the back and more towards the top.
That's a good idea.
But going back to the corals, one of my favorite things, rainbow chalice, that jelly bean right there, Incredible, man. I mean, that thing looks phenomenal. Candy apples, though, are always my favorites. Grandmaster cracks, incredible how good you're growing them. They're very finicky on the beginning. Like a lot of time, I try
really well. That was put in there in last May.
Then those gonioporas that you have right here, especially that pink one back there, that thing is incredible, man. Then you got some big red one back here. The bubble coral has sending tentacles. I mean, Space Invader Pictinia is a good old one right there. Okay. Even this fungia here is different. It's green with like yellow tentacles. I mean, your whole tank is looking phenomenal. You're really killing it. So let's jump into the fish a little bit. You got a pair of platinum clowns back there. I'm sure that's what they are. They're just white clowns, but there's so many different names for this designer clownfish.
So many designers now.
But they look beautiful anyways. And then you got some pajama cardinals and you got some Bangai cardinals.
Yes.
And you were just mentioning to me that they drop babies all the time. They carry them on their mouth.
Yes.
And then you see little baby ones around, and so there's their mamas, their parents, and then the kids are around.
Yep. And that was the first time anything has ever had
babies
in the tank. Yeah. And so then we ended up learning about them, how they keep them in their mouth, and the little babies were hiding. Actually, there was a black urchin in here, and they were hiding in the urchin, which I learned that's actually what they do in
the nature.
So it was very interesting learning that and actually having babies in the tank.
So that's super cool, man. That means that the tank is doing very well. The fish is super happy. The whole environment is productive for them. It's the right environment for those conditions. So let me jump into the equipment real quick. So I see you got Ecotech Radiants here.
Yes.
What generations are they?
That's the newest.
6?
6.
Okay. Are they blue or pros?
The blues, yeah.
Okay. 3 seems like it's plenty. So you got 2 MP40s on each side, one in the back, one in the front, so they do a rotation. And then you got 2 Neros shooting to each side of the tank. Okay. Yeah. And can we look at your filtration real quick?
Sure.
So this is the original sump that it comes with the water box.
Yes.
I love Reef Octopus protein skimmers, man. You always hear me in my videos. I've been using them for close to 20 years now.
That's ROA.
So
GFO.
GFO.
Yeah, running.
Keep your phosphate lower.
Yes. And there is a little bag of carbon down in the sock.
Okay, so you keep 2 socks and then a bag of carbon in there?
Yeah, just not all the time, just sometimes put the carbon in there.
And I see you got a Neptune controller in here.
Yes.
And you got 2 dose controllers connected. And I see right here you're putting some trace elements. You're putting some magnesium, some calcium and alkalinity.
Yes.
Then you got a various pump from Coral View. You have a UV sterilizer by any chance?
There is a UV sterilizer here.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
And how often you change the UV sterilizer, the bulb?
Once a year.
Once a year? Cool. I can see great results with the water clarity. The fish don't seem to get sick. How often do you feed the tank?
I try to do at least 2 times a day.
2 times a day?
Yeah.
And what do you feed?
I'll feed. I try to alternate different things. Brine, the multi packs, reef packs.
Yeah.
You have your brand, and then there's a is it
rods? So you're constantly mixing different foods.
Yes.
I'm a big believer. The more you can mix, the better. I mean, we don't need the same thing every day, right? We need the different nutrition values from different foods, correct?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing here. So, and you say you feed twice a day? You try to?
Yeah.
Okay, morning and night?
Yes.
So take me to some of your routine. So water changes on this tank, do you do them or not?
So I do some automatic water changes.
Okay.
And then I will do also some manual water changes.
Okay, can you tell me how that works?
So the automatic, I just set up through Neptune. You know, I can, depending on what I need, I'll set up 3 gallons a day, 4 or 5 gallons a day. And then if I feel like it needs just a complete water change, you know, because when it's doing the automatic, it's kind of varying, you know, because it's pulling out and putting in at the same time.
Yeah.
So, but if I feel like once a month it needs just a regular water change, like a 30-gallon water change, I'll just do that manually.
And how do you judge that?
Based on the nitrates and phosphates.
Okay. What do you aim to keep your nitrates and phosphates?
Nitrates, I like in the 15 to 20 range.
15 to 20 range? You know, I'm in the same boat. I like them 10 to 22, same boat. Yeah. I think when you start getting over 20, you're definitely pushing the envelope. They can take 30, but the minute they cross that 30, the tanks start going down.
Yeah.
You see some animals super happy, but some other ones don't react the same.
I do add copepods in monthly. Yeah. I do have a mandarin in there.
He must be hiding as well.
He's hiding.
So it seems like the tank is pretty self-sustained. I mean, so you've got in a pretty good routine by now, right?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I love a saltwater aquarium. It's amazing that we can actually bring this into our home. And to keep a mixed reef is challenging at times.
It can be, for sure.
it's kind of a roller coaster ride at times.
So a question that I have, I can tell that you've been doing this for a long time and you're passionate. People watching at home that might not know, but our company, Worldwide Corals, we actually maintain this tank.
Yes.
But the reason why I'm mentioning that is the best tanks that I see is when the actual person is really into their tank. It's not just it's not just it's there and take care of it.
Right.
You know your corals, you know your numbers, you know your equipment. If I go to someone's house and they don't know their equipment, they don't know their corals, their tank usually looks good, but not as good. If that makes sense?
Right.
Because how often is Matt here? Once a week or every other week?
Once a month.
Once a month, exactly. So if it's only here a couple hours just to guide you and tell you what really works and what's good, just to have that peace of mind that someone who sees that many tanks is helping you.
Yep.
So it's like having a coach almost.
It is. I've learned, I actually like it a lot because I learn, even maintenance routines, and I see Matt do, just watching and learning.
Learn.
I learn, and things that I may have not have thought of doing, I learn from him by asking, watching, and that's really good because I've gotten to a point in the last couple of years where if you guys have a sale, and I'll text him and go, hey, should I add this fish? Should I add this coral? And he's like, yes or no. Like, no, don't do that one. Or I'll pick one out for you. So, it's a level of communication and service that I trust, and I don't really, honestly, I don't want to buy anything anywhere else because I know the quality and I know what I'm going to get, and I don't need any problems in the tank.
Yeah.
So to arise at this point, it's at a level where I don't need a problem. I don't need to introduce.
Yeah. Well, thank you for saying that because matter of fact, 2 days ago, there's a couple. I don't know their names, but they watch our videos, so you know who I'm talking about. They bought a 600-gallon Peninsula tank from us, and I just met them 2 days ago. So somebody was buying a colony of an Aquapora, and they wanted another Aquapora that is so expensive, it was $600 for frag, and we have very, very minimum of this.
Yeah.
So I wanted to meet these people, and when I go to them, I start asking them questions, and the first thing they say, the tank has been running for 4 months. So immediately I told them, I said, look, let me hold the coral for a little while, and I want you to slow down a little bit. Because I love to sell you things. I'm in the business of selling you corals, but I'm in the business of doing it the right way.
Right.
If I sell you something, if corals start dying on you, you're going to get out of the hobby. Yeah. Then I cannot sell you more things. You're not going to talk to your neighbor, your partner, your son. No one else is going to get into the hobby, and then we don't grow the hobby. Right. Our goal is to keep people in the hobby, growing the hobby, and growing the corals and keeping them happy. One day these corals are not going to longer be able to pull out of the ocean, and we're going to need this for all the future generations to understand what these corals look like, what they can do, and I think it's a beautiful thing. So thank you for seeing it that way, But Sean, thank you for having me over. Tank looks spectacular, man.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you for watching this video. The tank looks phenomenal. I hope you guys really enjoy it. Please help us subscribe to our channel, give us some thumbs up, post some comments below with questions with this tank. We'd love to answer some of those questions. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Now I got to head over to one more tank. I'll see you guys on the next home.